I grew up in Topeka, and my father was a country boy raised on a farm in Rice County, Reno County. And he worked in an office all week, and he used to like to go for drives on Sunday afternoons. And so we're talking maybe 1955. So all the iron bridges that were still in existence then, I remember those as a little boy, and they're all gone now. And I remember hunting along the Arkansas River and really liking being along the river. And so as soon as I got a car when I was 16, I don't know how I discovered it, but the road right over here behind the History Center, you could turn right and go straight to the river. And there was a sandbar there, and I ended up spending the next several years in all my spare time hanging out on the sandbar. Lots of parties on the sandbar parties. And actually, we called it Mike Island because there were 3 Mikes from high school that would go and party there. I don't want to overemphasize the parties because really that was just the excuse that got me to the river in the first place. I spent many, many hours alone there. I learned how to read the river and know when it was safe to cross because fortunately, the first 20 feet were really deep because it was close to the bank and it cut there. But then after you cross that deep part, it was only thigh deep, maybe waist deep. And because of that deep water, it kept a lot of people from going out there. Otherwise, there would have been trash and all kinds of things. The point is, I really bonded with the river quite young, and it was a place of solace for me. I've been a historian in Wabaunsee County for the last 40 years, but the history from Kansas City to Junction City along the river is so rich, and it really should be tied all together. And now that the Kaw River in the last 4 or 5 years has become a national water trail, it was one of the first ones designated, there's more focus put on the river. And there's a project in the works, it's been thought of for maybe 10 years, is from Junction City to Wamego on the north side of the river to have a walking trail. And it's progressed in fits and starts, but there's a lot of government grant money out there right now. And so I am part of a group that manages the Mount Mitchell Heritage Prairie Park, which is 3 miles south of Wamego, and they're rebuilding the highway, and we're lobbying to build a walking biking trail between Wamego and Mount Mitchell. It's about 3 miles. And so as time goes on, these efforts to really, first of all, respect the Kaw, that's how Friends of the Kaw started. They were dredging really in unscientific, unhealthy ways in Lawrence, and that was the impetus. I really congratulate everybody who's been involved for these last 30 years. I knew some of the folks in the very beginning, and there's a saying, do the right thing. And, you know, here we are 30 years later because a handful of people did the right thing. And now, you know, we're celebrating that. And the Kaw is getting much more attention. The city of Topeka is finally getting their trip together to recognize the river and incorporate it into the life of the city. So maybe someday, 30 years from now, this envisioned history trail between Junction City and Kansas City can be realized.